Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, it's been forever, it feels like. I haven't seen you since last year. My goodness, how the time has gone. Hi, everybody. Hi, Mary. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Wendy. How are you? It's so good to see everybody. Oh my gosh. I hope that everybody had an amazing holiday. I hope that you had a great Christmas. I hope you had a good New Year's. And I hope that everyone is safe and well and healthy because I know the creeping crud is going around. So I seriously, sincerely, and seriously hope that you are well because, guys, there's some yucky colds and stomach stuff going around. I hope that you guys are staying healthy out there. We fortunately stayed for the most part pretty healthy. We had some things come through the house, but fortunately we all are either on the mend or didn't catch any of it. So that was good. That was good. But I've been away for what feels like forever. And it really hasn't been that long, honestly, guys, because the break was just a week. But every time I'm away from you guys, it feels like it has been forever. And I actually used the opportunity. We had family here and a lot of things going on, but I actually used the opportunity to kind of get ready for the new year because there are so many things coming up this year, and I wanted to kind of get a head start on everything. So if you are looking to get a head start on things, or you're looking to dip your toe into something new, I do want to remind everybody that the Hardwired group is open for enrollment right now. So you have pretty much until the end of the week to get signed up for Hardwired. It's a great way to start the year. It really is a great way to start the year if you want to, gift something to yourself that, maybe you didn't get everything you wanted for the holidays. This is a really good one to start fresh and to, like, be building your skills with. So if you're unfamiliar with Hardwired, guys, Hardwired is my paid Facebook group. And in the Hardwired group, we focus on harder projects than what we do here. I try to keep things relatively simple here in our Tuesday shows, and most definitely for our Feel Good Friday shows. It is all about super, super easy stuff because I am an avid believer that beautiful jewelry does not have to be a representation of every skill or technique that you've ever learned. However, I do also know that there are some of you out there who really want to grow your skills and you really want to be better as a jewelry maker, and you want to learn more and new things. And a great way to do that is to join Hardwired. We keep the Hardwired projects upper level, beginner to intermediate style projects as far as the difficulty level is concerned. However, I try to break things down in a way that makes it accessible to everybody. So if you are still a beginner, that doesn't mean that you will not gain something from being a member of Hardwired. Please don't think that it is too hard for you or it is out of reach, because like I said, I try to make it understandable and easy to do. And I also really try to build your confidence there. Listen, that group is an amazingly talented group. And some people started out with absolutely no idea what they were doing, where others knew what they were doing and, knew what they were getting into. But the point that I'm trying to make is that Hardwired is for everybody. Yes, the projects are a little bit harder, but if you are ready to kind of buckle down and build yourself, and grow forward, it's a great place to be. So please come and be a part of Hardwired if you want to. We're open for enrollment only for a short window every month, and that just happens to be right now. So all you need to do is go over to the Facebook group, apply to be a member, and be sure that you fill out the questions. That way we can get you taken care of. Dawn says it's still pending. Do I need to reapply? Dawn, I am not sure. Let me check in with Kathy. So Kathy is not here at the moment. She is with a friend, but I will check in with her and let you know, because she's kind of the gatekeeper of all things Hardwired. So it may be possible that you need to reapply, Dawn, but I was going to write your name down, but I can just come back to the comments. I will let you know. Okay. I will let you know. All right, so that is that. And let's see, what else do we need to talk about? Should we talk about anything? I do want to mention, Oh, she's here for a few. There she is. Miss Kathy is in the house. Dawn, she will look into that for you as soon as she gets a chance. Nicole says, I don't think Kathy has done invoices yet. Yes, she has. She has. She absolutely has. But it's always a work in progress. So, let's see. I was going to say something and then I got in here reading comments. Hi, Jane. Happy New Year. See, this is why my brain just kind of went somewhere else because I was reading all the comments in here. Okay, so what was I going to say? Oh, I do want to mention to you guys. Now, this is not going to affect anything currently, but it will be affecting us at the end of the month. So I do want to just, and you guys, some of you already know this, but just a little reminder. And again, I will post things at closer to that time so that you guys will know. I am going on actual vacation at the end of this month. So it'll be the end of January into the beginning of February. I'm taking a week. It will be a Friday to a Friday. And I am going on actual vacation, not staycation where I'm staying at home. Like I'm actually leaving and going away for a week. So that will be coming up for the end of this month. Like I said, reminders will be posted so you won't miss anything because obviously I won't be here for lives for that. But other than that, our schedule is just going to stick to the same. I've got the Art Beads lives at 4:00 Eastern time on Friday afternoons. And there are a couple of other things that may be coming into the schedule. I will start Michael's classes back in February. Like I said, it is a new year. I'm going to be hitting it hard with new projects and new opportunities. And I am super excited and glad that you are around and along for the ride. So, today, we're working on Bargain Bead Box. And listen, I know it's January and we're talking about the December Bargain Bead Box, but it's because I did not have a chance in December to do this one because the holidays kind of threw everything off. So I have the December Bargain Bead Box in front of me. We're going to go through that. And I will still be doing the January when the January one comes. So don't think that just because I'm doing the December one in January that I'm not going to be doing the January one. I will. I promise. I will make time for both. And I don't want to miss it at all because it's such a pretty one. So we're definitely going to be doing that here in a second. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Bargain Bead Box and Bead Box Bargains, same company, but Bargain Bead Box is a monthly subscription service where you sign up monthly and get a box of beads. It's actually a bag. But Bead Box Bargain just kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit better. It is a bag. But once a month, you get a curated selection of beads. Sorry, I have a hair that's driving me crazy. That's why I'm shaking my head. I'm not losing it, I promise. But it is a curated selection monthly, guys. It is super affordable. And it always has a little bit of everything in it, which I absolutely love. We're going to go through it here in just a second. I have a coupon code with them. I actually have more than one, so please feel free to use those. I also have an affiliate link as well. So if you want to shop with Bead Box Bargains, please feel free to use my affiliate link if you would like to do so. You do not have to, but it is always appreciated if you do. It means that I get a small commission off of the sales that I make using that. So, the Bargain Bead Box, like I mentioned, is a monthly subscription service, but they have a sister site, Bead Box Bargains, where you can shop monthly. Well, I mean, you can shop anytime you want to, but you can shop in between the shipments of your bead box, and you can stock up on things like bead caps, chain, findings, and of course, beads. And you can buy extras from the box that you get each month. And being a member gives you a 30% off discount coupon code that you can use at checkout, and you can use it more than once during the month. This is particularly helpful when you make a lot of orders, or if you like to make big purchases. Oh, Kim, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. So if you stock up on things, right? If you make a monthly stock up, or every 3 months you make a stock up, use that 30% off coupon, and it makes you feel, because their prices are already Very, very reasonable. It makes you feel like you're using, your tax-free, or, I don't have any of those. I don't have any of those business perks. So using this 30% off coupon makes me feel like I am getting a very nice, nice discount, because you are getting a really nice discount. And the fact that you can use it more than once is really cool, because they're always restocking their website. So what is on the site today, tomorrow there may be 15 new items. Well, if you check out today and use your 30% off coupon, and then you see something tomorrow and you're like, oh, I used my coupon, don't worry, you can use it again, which is really, really nice. Plus the fact that they are just a wonderful small business, super, super friendly, and they have top-notch customer service. I cannot express how much I have enjoyed my working relationship with this company over the years, because I've been a member of Bargain Bead Box for a long, long time, and I will continue to support them just because they're just good people. They're just good people, and it is on the affordable side for monthly subscription services. So if you are interested, definitely take advantage of the coupon codes and all of that. All right, so I'm going to get you turned around. Like I said, this is the December box, so this is one that has already happened. The January box has not shipped yet, right? Has not shipped yet. It usually ships out towards the middle of the month. So I will be doing it as well, as I always do, but we missed this one. So we're going to do it right now. I'm going to turn you around and we are going to get started. So I don't have the paper. I always lose the paper. What did I do with it? Oh, wait, I do have the paper. Just kidding. It's Winter Wonderland Sparkling Snowfall. That was the theme for the December. And I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. And then we're going to make a quick little bracelet project. Not anything super hard. Guys, if you love apatite, this box was beautiful. Well, I mean, it is beautiful. And just that color of kind of blue in general is just so, so nice. All right. So I have 10mm tiger iron round beads. These are dyed, and it's my fingernails. I don't know how it happens. It wasn't intentional. I promise it wasn't. These were my New Year's fingernails, and they just so happened to go really well with this box, but it wasn't intentional. All right, so here are our tiger iron.
Waiting to help someone. What can I do for you?
Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, robot. So these are a beautiful blue-green, and they do have both in here. So you're going to be able to mix these with greens, and you're also going to mix them with blues, and they're going to look amazing. So love those. We have glass top drilled bicone beads, crystal AB. These are so pretty. Look at these. They look like water droplets. It just looks like I'm holding a whole little hand of water droplets. They're so pretty. I love these. So they're top drilled. There's a bunch of them. You can make a really beautiful necklace with these all lined up, maybe with a couple of beads in between them. It would be so icy and pretty. I love wintertime jewelry. And there's definitely a difference between holiday jewelry and winter jewelry, right? Winter jewelry is more on the clear AB, blue, silver kind of side of things, and you can wear it all through the winter as opposed to just for the holidays, right? Gosh, those are pretty. All right, I've got London Blue Agate. These are 8mm beads. So pretty. This blue is one of my absolute favorites. Such a pretty color. Love that. All right, next up, this is always a favorite, always a crowd pleaser. These 8mm moonstone glass round beads in frosted aqua. I call these mermaid beads. Most people call these mermaid beads. They are in fact just frosted glass, but they 100% are, to me, this is the mermaid bead. But it works really well in the summertime and the wintertime. So pretty. So pretty. All right, I have 6mm crackle agate frosted, and I'm not going to open this one up. These are white. I'm not going to open this one up because there's a lot of them that are loose. We're actually using these in our project today, so you will be seeing these soon. But I love these. I love white beads. I'm I do not have nearly enough of them in my own stash. So this was a beautiful addition. And the fact that these are agate with that crackly pattern on them, there's just something about those that I really, really love. So this might be my favorite bead here. But it's a really hard choice. Really hard choice. All right. Speaking of that apatite that I mentioned a minute ago, we've got some 3mm apatite. This color is so good. It's so good. It's just beautiful. This is one of my favorite sizes of beads too. These little faceted. I love to take these and make clusters with them. I wish I had a cluster. Do I have a cluster? I do. Look. These clusters with this size, yes, please. Yes, please. It's one of my favorite things to do because it's just a beautiful way to show off all of the facets and the sparkle in these little beads. So, so pretty. So I definitely will be using those for that. Now, I also have another piece of beautiful apatite. There was a teardrop pendant in here, and this is a nice size pendant too. Really beautiful. And everybody's are going to look different, which I think is really awesome because, you know, it's a gemstone bead. So of course everybody's are going to be a little bit different, but so pretty. So, so pretty. All right, what else do I have here? I've got some 4mm crystal bicones, which is always a nice addition, particularly with something kind of icy. Do you see that icy look here? Like I'm definitely feeling their sparkling snowfall theme, but 100% these work really well in an icy type design. So pretty. So, so pretty. I have so many other things to show you too. Hold on. We're not done. We're not done. I'm just going through the bead part here, and then I'm going to show you all the extras. These are 14 by 8.5mm crystal faceted twist beads in slate blue. These are so pretty. I love these. Gosh, those are gorgeous. Love, 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 love. Look at this color palette. So nice. All right. Now with Bargain Bead Box, they also include lots of extras, not just beads, but findings and things like that as well. So we have some 5 by 2mm rondelle spacer beads, which you're also going to see in today's project. I love these. I love good spacer beads. This is a nice one because it's got a nice big hole on it. So you're going to be able to put this on a lot of different stringing materials, which I think is really cool, especially with a spacer bead, because most spacer beads have just a really tiny little drill hole. So this is cool. You're going to be able to thread that onto a lot of different things. There is a teal coated fan pendant. I thought this was pretty interesting. Well, there are 2 of them. Those are pretty cool. They look like water. It looks like water spray, but I mean, you could use these in a whole lot of different ways. I'm also seeing palm tree here, a blue palm tree. I don't know. I know that doesn't necessarily go with the theme, but it's really just a really cool kind of accent. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just a cool thing. It doesn't have to be necessarily anything, but the color is perfect for this box. Super cute. Love that. We also have these little 12mm stainless steel snowflake cutout links. I love these. Love, 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 love. I am all about the stainless steel cutouts. That's been a big thing in a lot of boxes this year. A lot of the Bargain Bead boxes have had these stainless steel and like the laser cut. I'm just really loving that. I really, really do. I think they just make really nice pendants and connectors. Platinum plated brass snowflake cutout charms. So we've got some more snowflakes here. These are really nice too. They have that kind of texture to them, which is really nice. Those are really pretty. So there's 2 of those. So you got 2 connectors and 2 of the little pendants or charms. Then there's this whole bag of snowflake beads, which I think is awesome. I've never had snowflake beads before. I really love these. So these are man-made hematite snowflake beads. They're really pretty. Really like those. Okay. Then we've got three, actually there are four other things, but one of them is already in something. So I'm going to show that to you last. Toggles. So there are 20 by 12 millimeter swirled toggle clasps. There are 4 sets here. I love when they include findings like this. So nice toggles, other things like this that they include. Sometimes they include earring components. It's just always kind of nice because they always match. I mean, I know it's a curated box, so of course it's supposed to match, but sometimes it can be hard to match the metals with what you've got. And the fact that it's already done for you makes it really, really nice. All right. Me too. Gina says, always love getting an ice, frost, and snow themed box. Me too. Me too. Bead caps. This is one of my very favorite things to stock up on Bead Box Bargains. If you like to use bead caps, it's a great place to get them in bulk. You can get tons of bead caps, lots of different sizes and shapes and textures. And they're just really, really nice. The quality is good, and you can get a ton of them and use that 30% off coupon as many times as you want throughout the month. So it's a great, great place to stock up on these. All right. And then we have some chain. I mentioned the chain before. I love when they include chain. They almost always do include some kind of chain. This is stainless steel curved chain. You get 1 meter of this. And if you need more chain, this is also a great place to stock up on that. You can buy it a meter at a time, I believe, so you can get a lot. And what's cool about it is like you say a meter and you're like, okay, well, how much is that? Well, so if you get the box, you can tell how much a meter is. So when you go to reorder, you can know, okay, well, I need 5 meters of that, which is nice. And they don't skimp on the chain in the box. They give you a lot to work with. A meter is going to give you plenty to work with, and you'll be able to make necklaces and bracelets with that 1 meter. Sorry, I had dropped something in the floor. I needed to get that before a cat did. All right. And then last but not least is another connector. Now, this is already part of our project. Half of our project is already done, but I want to go ahead and show it to you. It is a connector that is 3 snowflakes, has a slight curve. So it's going to make a really nice bracelet connector. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to do an easy peasy pumpkin squeezy. We're starting the new year off easy. We're doing an easy adjustable bracelet. I'm using some B-Lon cord here for this. And I'm just going to do some simple stringing, and we're going to do an adjustable clasp with some square knots. So we're going to make a really easy bracelet using this beautiful connector, which you could use in a necklace if you wanted to, but I liked the idea of using it as a bracelet because, like I said, it does have that slight curve to it, so it's already perfectly shaped. All right, so now, speaking of our project, I'm going to sit all of this over here to the side, and we are going to get started on our project, just making something easy. We don't need to go crazy with something hard here, especially when the beads are so pretty. It's nice to just put something lovely together that you can wear, like an easy piece to wear, right? This is definitely going to be an easy piece. All right. So like I mentioned, I'm using some B-Lon for this, and I'm using this silver, it's like a gray silver cord for this. You can use whatever you want to, but I do like the B-Lon. It's a little different than S-Lon. S-Lon doesn't quite have the stickiness to it. And I don't mean stickiness in the fact that, like, I don't want you to think that this is like wax cord, because it's not. It just has something different coated on it. I'm not sure if it's what it's made out of or what makes it sticky, but it does have a little bit of stick to it. So why does that matter? It matters when you're going to tie knots, because it means that it's really going to grip onto itself and those knots are going to stay. Whereas with S-Lon, I do love S-Lon. It comes in a ton of colors, but the S-Lon sometimes can be really, really slippery, and it is hard to make a knot stay with it. I don't tend to have that problem with the B-Lon. So I'm using the B-Lon for this. Plus, I think this color was just a nice accent to all of this. So what am I doing here? I'm just doing some simple stringing. And I'm using some of the beautiful agate beads from the box and some of the spacers. So I'm going to need about 3 spacers. Kimberly says, starting the new year with an easy project is perfect. I think so too. And I like to start the new year with a project that not only is it easy, but it's going to be wearable. You know what I mean? Like, we've gone through all of these holiday designs and all of these things, like these special occasion pieces. This is most definitely going to just be a bracelet. You can throw it on, stack it up with your other favorite things, and wear it. You know, you don't have to get dressed up or have a special occasion to put on a piece like this. So I'm all about that. All right, so I'm going to take some of this, and I'm actually going to take quite a bit. I'm going to take about 24 inches, which is well over what we need, but we do need to have plenty of this for the ends. I'll show you when we get to that point, but all right, I'm going to take that and I'm going to thread that on to the loop on my little connector here, and I'm going to find the middle. So I'm just going to bring my 2 ends together. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to tie an overhanded knot close to the little loop here. So I'm just wrapping those around my fingers. I'm just tying an overhanded knot. Now you can skip this part if you want to. You can just go ahead and thread your beads on, but I kind of like to have the knot as a little transition. All right, so again, it's got that nice grip to it. So I know that that knot is nice and secure. I'm going to thread on 3 of our agate beads here. And I'm kind of picky. And I know some of you are too. Listen, if you're not, that's okay too. I'm not trying to make anybody feel some type of way. But I see how some of the agate beads, and this is just true with gemstone beads in particular, sometimes they have little places on them. Like this one's got like a little black spot on it. This one has kind of a little yellow spot on it. That's just the way it is with gemstone beads, unless you're buying like the most expensive gemstone beads that you can get your hands on, right? There are inconsistencies. There are little things like that. And most of the time I don't let them bother me, but this is a white bead. Am I being weird? Like, because it's a white bead, I'm like, okay, I don't want any of the little things. If this were a blue bead, it would not matter to me at all. But because it's a white bead, like I want the whitest out of these beads. I want the ones that don't have any extra things on them. So I'm picking out the whitest ones, and I'm going to thread. They have a nice large hole, so it's going to easily go through, or 2 cords are easily going to go through that. Could you wax the knot area of the S-Lon? You absolutely could, Sherry. That's the cool thing about S-Lon is it comes in a million different colors, and you can make it do what you want it to do. I'm just lazy. I'm just lazy. With the B-Lon, I don't have to worry about it. But yes, you can treat it with wax. You can treat the whole cord or just the knot, all those things. All right, I'm going to pick out another one, and I'm being really picky. Just can't help it. It's because it's a white bead. If it weren't white, I would not care. Like, I do not care at all. But because it's white, all of those little extra things show up like big time. So, right? Sometimes the inclusions just don't go. They just don't go. All right, so there's my second one. Nicole says she's working with S-Lon as we speak. S-Lon, B-Lon, I love them all. Now, you know I'm a Beadalon girl for sure, so I'm always going to use a Beadalon product when I can. But I do love S-Lon too. It's just a little slippery. All right, there's my third. All right, now I'm going to add one of the little spacer beads. And that too is going to go on both cords. It's nice that it's got that nice large hole because I could fit several cords through here. Happy New Year to you too. I'm so glad you're here. Nicole is multitasking. She's working on jewelry and dropping links and hanging out in the comment section, and she's doing all the things today. All right, another bead. Oh my goodness. No, I know both cords will fit. It's just a matter of getting them to do it. All right. There we go. Okay, there's one. I'm gonna add another one. I'm being super picky about my beads here. That one looks pretty good. Oh, and it had a nice big hole too. So that one went on to my B-Lon really easily. Let's see if I can ring that bell twice. There's one more. So I'm doing these in little groupings of 3, just easy peasy. Okay, now I'm going to do another spacer. You do not need a wire guardian, Alex, but you know what? You can use one if you want to. But you absolutely do not have to have one, which is nice, because this is just, it's not like beading wire. You can use one if you want to, but you don't have to. And guys, speaking of wire guardians, did you know, some of you do know this, some of you don't know this though, wire guardians come in a large variety of sizes. So if you wanted to use one with some of this B-Lon or a thicker stringing material, they make them big enough to accommodate some really thick diameter stringing materials. They're not all one size fits all. They come in different sizes. All right, we're going to do one more section. This bracelet's going to be a little too big for me, I think. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I might need to stop at that 3 instead of, yeah, I think I need to not do another section. So I'm going to have to undo this knot. That's fine. So I have a little tiny wrist. So a lot of times, and this is an adjustable bracelet, right? So I'm going to go ahead and tie an overhanded knot here. I know I'm confusing you. I'm so sorry. Like, wait, what is she talking about? All over the place. So overhanded knot at the end of my beads here. Okay. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to untie this knot and I'm going to take off this last section. I did this yesterday. So basically what we just did on one side, you're going to want to do on the other side. And where I did this yesterday, I think it's just too many beads for my little wrist. So I'm going to very carefully, I'm using my beading awl here. I'm going to undo this knot by first kind of loosening it up by sticking my beading awl in it. See how that helps to loosen things up? Because you have to be careful when you're taking the knot out with this B-Lon and with S-Lon, because the cord is twisted. And sometimes if you stab it with your beading awl or whatever you're using to get the knot out, you can stab through the twist and it messes up the cord. So trying to be very gentle. I'm going to use my pliers now, I think. Might actually use 2 pairs. Kimberly says that she read somewhere that the holes on some stainless steel connectors can be sharp and cut the cord. Have any of you experienced that? I've not experienced that, but I do know that that can happen, particularly with like the laser cut. Sometimes it leaves like a little jaggedy edge. You can always use a metal file to file your edges, but I've not ever personally had that happen to me. But if you are worried about it, you can always kind of like take a look at them and see the hole. See, that one has a little, it's got a little extra little piece of metal in there. I don't have a metal file on me, but I do have a beading awl that has, you know, has that texture to it. So you can take it, use like your bead reamer. That's basically what this one is. It's a bead reamer, and kind of file down. And you can see how that the inside of that's made like little dust on my finger. A lot of times that, look how nice and smooth that is on the inside now. So just using the bead reamer makes a big difference. But if it's like an outer edge of something, you can use a metal file or an emery board, but that definitely helps. All right. If you don't know a person's size, should you make all bracelets adjustable or still make stretch bracelets, and what size? So that's actually a really good question. So I personally am a huge fan of adjustable bracelets just for that reason in particular, because I don't know everybody's size. But there is an industry standard, which is 7.5 inches. I don't know who decided that was like an average size of a woman's wrist, because quite honestly, I found that is not necessarily true. I feel like the most average size for a woman is more like an 8-inch. And that the 7.5 can be a little small for some people. However, I am on the 6-inch side of things. So I have a really twiggly little wrist. 6 inches is plenty for me. 6.5 if I want it to kind of move around a little bit. So because the sizes are so varied, adjustable bracelets are definitely a nice choice when you're making bracelets for people that you don't know their size, or you can always add an extension chain to things, right? So make a 7.5 inch, because that's kind of the standard size, and then add an extension chain to it. And then that way they can really adjust it to the size. Some people don't like the extension chain. Some people love an extension chain. It just kind of depends on how you feel about it. Stretch bracelets, when it comes to a stretch bracelet, you want to make that stretch bracelet more like a 7-inch. If you're looking to make a 7.5 inch standard size, 7 inches on a stretch bracelet. Does that make sense? It's so difficult to know. So my answer to all of it is to make an adjustable bracelet. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my cord ends, right? I'm going to take those cord ends and I'm going to run those in opposite directions. So I'm going to take these on this side and I'm going to go this way. And then I'm going to take the ones on this side and I'm going to go this direction, right? And then I'm going to do some square knotting over these, and that's going to make these adjustable. The best way to do this is to either tape this down to your work surface or use your tying station. I'm going to use my tying station for mine. So I'm going to take, so with the tying station, I took the acrylic plate, the washer, and the wing nut off. And I'm going to put this, all 4 strands right up here close to my knot. And then I'm going to put the plate back down, the washer back down, and tighten this up. And then, oh, I haven't yet. Thank you. Good eye on that. Kathy said, did you put a knot on this end? I didn't. So let's go ahead and do that. That was a good catch. Thank you. All right, there we go. Okay, now again, crisscrossing my ends. Okay, and then see if I can stick this back underneath there without taking it all off. And I'm going to tighten this down. Okay, now I'm going to take my other end of my tying station, and the cool part about it is that you can slide this up as far as you need it, because we're working in a little area, so we don't need it to be way down at the bottom. You can take it all the way off if you want to. I'm just going to make it so that I can very gently slip those in there and then tighten down. All right, so we're working in a pretty small area, which is fine. Okay, but now I don't have to worry about holding it all together with my hands. I can do this with the tying station, or you can use some painter's tape to tape it down to your work surface. The painter's tape won't leave that sticky residue behind. You can use a clipboard and a piece of tape, whatever works for you, or you can hold it all in your hand. But if you've got a tool to make things easier for you, definitely use it, right? Tying station, perfect for this. All right, now I'm going to take another piece of my B-Lon, and I only need like about 18 inches of this. You don't need a ton because you're only making a few square knots here. It's really just kind of up to you as how many you want to make. But now I'm going to take my B-Lon and I'm going to go underneath all 4 of those, and I'm going to find the middle. So I'm going to bring my ends together. There's the middle. Actually, I'm going to cut a little bit longer. Let's go with 24 inches over the 18. I know that's not a big difference, but it just felt a little short for me. All right, so again, bring your ends together. Okay, now we're going to tie a square knot. Now I've done tons of square knotting videos, but I am going to walk you through this. If you need more practice on square knots, definitely look up some of my other projects. But the square knot happens in 2 steps, and I always start on the right. So I'm going to take my cord that is on the right, and I'm going to make a P shape. That P shape is going to cross over the top of the core, which are the cords running up and down. Okay. Then I'm going to take my left-handed cord that needs to cross over that out here on the edge. And then I'm going behind and up through that P shape on the right. I'm actually going to use my beading awl because this is a very small little area that we're working in. And the first square knot is always the trickiest. Then you're going to pull. Now here's the trick. You don't want to pull this so tight that you can't adjust your bracelet. You want it to be tight so that it is secure, but not so tight that you can't pull these cords. Okay, these cords once we get to that point. All right, so there's step 1. Scoot that this way just a little bit. Now we're going to do step 2. So step 2 is the exact same thing that we just did, except it is the mirrored image of that. So we're doing a backwards P shape running across the core. Okay, right cord crosses over that, goes behind and up through that backwards P shape on the left side, and then you pull. That's your square knot. If you don't do both steps, you don't have a finished square knot. Okay. All right. So now you only need about 5 of these to secure your bracelet, but you can do as many as you want to. Okay. So I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe 10. So P shape on the right, left cord crosses over that, goes behind and up through, pull. All right. Backwards P shape crosses over the core, crossing over that, behind and up through on the left, and pull. There's 2. All right, P shape, crossing over, going behind and up through. I'm working in such a small area. It's a little challenging because there's not a lot of room to get your fingers underneath there to grab everything. Pull. Also finding that things are getting a little loose on me here. Hold on. Here we go. tighten that back down. All right. Backwards P shape on the left. Right cord crosses over. It's behind and up through. And pull. Okay. P shape on the right. Yeah, crochet hook would be really nice to have here. For sure. And you would think with these big long fingernails I have, I'd be able to grab that cord, but it doesn't. It tends to not work that way. It's funny because I can do just about anything having long nails, but making knots with long nails is always a challenge for me. I don't know why. It's the one thing that always seems to be difficult to do the longer my nails are. This little tiny area, it's a little challenging. Uh-oh, what have I done? Hold on. Everybody hold on. I've made a mess. I've looped around all kinds of things and there we go. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do knot number 5. Okay. Backwards P shape on the left. Pull. Okay. Now that I have 5 knots, I'm actually going to take this off of the tying station just because it's nice and secure. And now I can keep going with my knots, but I don't have to work in that tiny, tiny little space. Now I can actually kind of hold it in my hand and I don't have to worry that it's going to come undone. Okay, so I'm going to do another 5 knots. I'm going to do these free-handed in my hand here, which if you're not comfortable with square knots is probably not going to be the best option, but can be done. Can be done, right? Backwards P shape, crossing over, going behind. The trickiest part about doing it free-handed like this without it being taped down or connected to your tying station is just that there are so many cords. It's easy to pick up the wrong one. Okay. P shape on the right. Cord crosses over. Goes behind. Maybe. I ended up through. And pull. My goodness. Okay. And then your backwards P shape on the left. Crosses over. Goes behind and up through. Now I want to count my knots. I know I don't have 10 yet, but I still want to count them, and it's a good opportunity to show you how to count them. So to count your finished knots, you're going to count the little bumps on the edge. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7. And I said I wanted to do 10, so we're going to do 3 more. But like I said, if you need to count your knots, you can count them on the right side. Now, if you started on the left side, you're going to count your bumps on the left side. Does that make sense? I always start on the right, so I count my bumps on the right. If you start on the left, count your bumps on the left, because it doesn't matter if you start which side you start on to do your square knots, as long as you do both sides. And I say that because a lot of times I will have somebody who will say, wait a minute, I learned square knots and I always start on the left. What, is that wrong? It's not. It is not wrong at all. You can do it. You can start on either side. Makes absolutely no difference. Some people are more comfortable starting with the backwards P as opposed to the P shape going in the right direction. Totally up to you. There's no right or wrong, as long as you do both steps. If you are a hardwired member, we will be meeting at 4 p.m. Eastern today. And we're actually going to be doing some square knotting over in hardwired with cup chain today. Andrea says sometimes she loses track and forgets which side to do. That is something else to talk about as well. So if you have to get up, right? You walk away, something happens, cat spills a drink, I don't know, phone rings, you got to get up and you walk away in the middle of your square knot. If you've got a finished bump on the right side, you are ready to start on the right side again. So you finish that knot. You've got a completed bump, right? Let me show you what it looks like if you get up in the middle of your knot. So go ahead and do the right side of this knot. Pull. Okay, if you come back to your work and you don't have a completed bump on the right side and your cord is coming out like this up towards you, then you've only done half of your knot and you need to do the left side because you do have a completed bump on the left side. So I know that can be a little confusing, but it does make a difference. Especially if you're always right. If you're always right, I start on the right, my bumps are on the right. You get up in the middle, you walk away and you don't have a bump on the right, then you need to do the left side and that will give you that bump on the right. When he says cat spills a drink, LOL, that so happens. It does. It totally does. Listen, I don't get up for a lot of things that the dogs do, but if a cat does something, it always seems to be much more of a mess, whatever it is. You know, just saying. All right, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need one more. Yeah, start on the side that has the completed bump. That usually is a good way to look at it. This free-handed business is for the birds. This is not my favorite way to do this. It's just a little bit easier as far as space is concerned, but as far as everything else is concerned, it's a little trickier. That tying station was definitely a win. This is not. All right, there's my last one. So now I've got 10 of these. Okay. All right. Now, this cord very easily melts, which is another reason why I absolutely love it. So you can melt the ends. If you don't have the ability to melt the ends, if you don't have a lighter or a thread burner or anything like that, you can flip this over on the back and tie an overhanded knot and pull that overhanded knot down to the surface and add some glue and then trim off your ends. Okay, that will give you a secure ending to this. Or if you've got a lighter or a thread burner, I'm going to cut my cords pretty close and then I'm just going to melt them. Now, not all cords are created equal, so not everything will melt. B-Lon will melt, S-Lon will melt. Other things, not so much. And then just tap that down with your finger. Do the other side. So I'm just going to melt it down, tap it down with my finger. Okay. All right. So this is the adjustable section for your bracelet. Now, how is it adjustable? Well, because you've got your two ends here that you can pull to tighten it up, right? And then to open it back up, you just pull your ends. That's why I say you don't want it to be so tight, your square knots to be so tight that you can't easily adjust it. Okay, now I'm going to, before I take care of my ends, I'm going to pull it down as close as it'll go on both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to add dangles to these so that when I open it up so far that my threads don't slip in. Now, you can do knots if you want to. You don't have to do bead dangles. It's totally up to you. But I do like a bead dangle on the end of mine. I'm going to use my bicones. So, or I hope to use these bicones. I'm going to take each cord here and I'm going to thread a bicone. You can do one, you can do two, or you can just do a knot. Okay. I'm going to pull that down here, and I want that to be, I want to have about 2 inches of adjustability here, or maybe 1.5 inches. So I'm going to tie a knot. And then make sure that your bead, that the knot doesn't slip inside your bead, because then you're going to lose your beads, right? And then I'm going to trim off. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to do the same thing to the other 3. So these beads are just a nice little addition. They also, again, are not going to slip inside your square knots, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you don't want extra beads here, just a nice knot will usually be enough. Now, I do want my knots to be pretty much in the same spot. So I try to keep them the same if I can. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then our bracelet's going to be done. This is an easy peasy project. And quite honestly, you could do this with any of the beads that are in your bead box this month. And it would be beautiful. All right. So another overhanded knot. And again, just kind of measuring with the others. Ooh. That looks about right. Cinch that down. Doesn't have to be exact. You just want it to be close. You don't want them to be, you know, major length difference in your sides. All right, one more to go. Any of the knots, if you feel like you need to add glue to them for extra security, GS Hypo Cement with the little precision tip is my favorite. But you definitely can use E6000 on like a little Q-tip. I mean, not a Q-tip. I always say that, a toothpick. But I really feel like with the B-Lon, it's not necessary because it's pretty grippy little cord. Okay. Trim that off. And we are done. So we've got some cute little dangles on the ends. And we have this beautiful little snowflake that we can wear all winter. It's not just about the holidays now. It's just about the icy winter. And this is going to be a beautiful, easy to wear. Throw this on with your blue jeans. Stack this up with your other favorites. I'm going to put mine on right now. So you can see I can easily adjust it just by putting my hand in there and kind of opening my fingers up. Can you tie a knot at the top of the bead? Yeah. So if you want to leave that bead so that it doesn't travel, you can tie a knot on both sides of your bead for sure. And then see, I just kind of pull like that. And I've got my bracelet. And if I need to open it and adjust it a little bit, I can just kind of pull on it a little. And there we go. Easy peasy, right? That is a super easy bracelet to put together and will accommodate a large variety of sizes. Yes, Kelly says maybe it'll bring some snow at last. That's what I want. Send me some snow, please. So cute. I love it. I love it. And I love that it's so easy to wear. I can just take it off, throw it on, you know, I don't have to think about it. It's not a fussy piece of jewelry. It's not a big piece of jewelry. This is just a nice little addition to whatever other bracelet stack you've got going on. I've already got on a stainless steel bracelet, so it matches the metal for the one that I already have on. It would look nice next to a watch. Super, super cute. Gina says, making us happy with this one. Yay, that's my goal. All right, I'm going to turn you guys around so we can part ways. And it's just bye for now, not bye for another week, right? We're back to our regular schedule again. It is so good to be back, too. I feel rested and refreshed, and I hope that you do, too. I am looking forward to 2024. Lots of good things coming your way, my way. We're all going to reap the benefits of the new opportunities that I've got in front of me. I am looking forward to sharing all of the beady goodness with you. So it is going to be a fun year for sure. Question: can you add more cord if you run out while you're working, or do you need to start over? Unfortunately, with this kind of cord, there's no way to add more cord. There are in other kinds of macrame projects. With this one, you really, if you run out of cord, you kind of have to start over. If you're doing a macrame project where you've got lots of knots going on, there is a trick to adding cord. I'm not super proficient in it, but there is a trick to that. I just can't tell you what it is. Awkward pause. Okay. Susie says, no snow. I want it. I want it. Send it to me. I'll take it from you. I will take it from you. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Please be sure to check out Bargain Bead Box and Bead Box Bargains. Feel free to use my affiliate link if you want to, or my coupon codes. You do not have to, but they are there for you to use them if you would like to. If you go over to shop with them, tell them I said, hey, let them know that I sent them, or I helped to send you their direction. I love all of them over there, and I'm always happy for that. And guys, this is not the last time you'll see Bargain Bead Box this month, because like I said, this was the December one. We didn't have the opportunity to do this one last month. So I'll be back in a couple of weeks with another one for January for Bargain Bead Box. In the meantime, schedule still stays as normal. I will be back with you guys on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time for our Feel Good Friday show. And also at 4 p.m. over on Art Beads on Friday. So don't forget about all of those good things we've got going on. Hardwired, don't forget, we are meeting today at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And don't forget, if you're not a member of Hardwired and you would like to be, we're open for enrollment. So please go over to Hardwired and sign up, and we'll get you taken care of as soon as we possibly can. All right, everybody. I love you guys, and I will see you guys. I'll see some of you later this afternoon. The rest of you, I will see you on Friday. Okay. I love you. Have a great afternoon. Yes, Angela, go over to the group and sign up for Hardwired. We are still open for enrollment for the whole week. So, all right. I love you guys. Bye.